Hello there, gang, and welcome to another episode of Displaying-Model-Behaviour, the Earth's mightiest video podcast. So take off your pants, crack a beer, and let's talk about the loose collector, Mr. Hyde figure. Oh my god. Friend of the show, David, sent me this incredible care package with an insane amount of stuff in it. And one of the absolute crown jewels was this big, gigantic, huge, chonky beast. So let's talk about him. First of all, you've got this gigantic loose collector box here, which it needs to be big to carry this gigantically huge... I gotta get a thesaurus to find another word for big. But yeah, Mr. Hyde is massive. He's in a massive box, and then when you get him out of it, he just dominates anywhere you want to put him, on your shelf, Detolf, mantelpiece, you name it. This dude is just gigantic. You get so much plastic in this here figure. He's genuinely heavy. He ain't heavy. Well, he is heavy, and he's not my brother either. That sounds completely inappropriate. But yeah, let's take a little look at this guy properly. Loose collector, you son of a biscuit. You done some good work here, pal. You really have. First of all, just the proportions are ridiculous, and I love that. I love the ridiculous proportions. This is the ultimate Roidy Magoo figure. There's nothing sensible about this. This is straight out of an anime, manga, kind of artistic interpretation of what an ultimate venomed up Bane, gamma-powered Hulk should look like. And that's where this guy is so great. Because I would want to put him straight into my Marvel villains display, and he can do, because it's Mr. Hyde. So that fits perfectly. So just looking at... I don't like doing articulation because it's boring to me. But he's beautifully articulated. You got double jointed knees. You got single jointed elbows, but they kind of have to be single jointed. They're so thick. You would be hard pressed to put double joints in there and have that kind of work. You'd probably end up with big segments of empty space missing. So I think the single joint is fine. Because also, I mean, he can do a double gun pose. So really, I mean, what more do you need for your big brutish bruiser? And then what I really love... Well, actually, I'm getting ahead of myself. I'll get to that. Because then we go up to the main sort of torso section here, and it's a disc. It's a flat disc waist swivel. Would a ball joint have been nicer? Of course it would have been nicer. But one thing I will allow for this is the fact that the point where it swivels is very sort of even around his belt mark, so you're not getting too much of blank space here if you do twist his waist. Do you know what I mean? Like imagine doing a waist twist on the Pizza Spider-Man. There's a real big cut there, whereas here it you know, one circle sort of sits on top of the other one, so you're not getting that so much. So that's actually okay. Yeah, you know, a ball waist would be even better, but that's where we do get something real nice. And that's this... Oh, knock his hat off. And that's where we get the ball torso swivel. And this is great, because it's also got ab crunch as well. I don't even know mechanically exactly how that works. So, Loose Collector, how you did this with a bit of this as well, bravo. I'm a one-hand clap here. Bra freaking vo. You nailed it. You nailed it, pal. So you can get your Mr. Hyde rotating all the way around, crunching forwards, and then, of course, luckily the head can look up nicely as well. So you can look down, do a bit of navel gazing, and then look up all brutish and just, coming to get ya kind of look. One thing, speaking of articulation, that I would kind of like, that you can't do so much, not much side to side sort of looking. You can tilt it around, but he can't really look like that. You know what I mean? But again, you deal with that with the size of the figure. You got to work within these proportions here. And then of course the arms, butterfly joints would be nice. However, having said that, I take that back, because that would have cut into the pectoral muscles there. That would have messed up this lovely, huge, big, hulking, solid chest. So you wouldn't really want pectoral muscles with that. So instead, yeah, these kind of normal ball joint arms, they work great. Then with the bicep swivels as well, you got so much to just give him a monstrous, grasping kind of look to him. And also, even articulated toes as well. One thing I'll say though is, I don't really like to pose him with articulated toes. I was trying to think of some other word besides toes, but there you go. Because he's so top heavy. He's so top heavy, he will topple over. And he has done that a few times if he's not well balanced. And also, I think you don't want to put too much strain on these joints, having them have to like hold up this really heavy top half here. So really, I would keep his plates of meat flat on the floor. That's the best way to do it there, I think, personally. And then, of course, with the hands, we got the open hands and we got the fists. So you can just have him slugging it out with the Incredible Hulk. That's one combination I really want to do, is this Mr. Hyde figure with the Marvel Select Immortal Hulk. These two guys going at it, that will look badass on the shelf. That's going to look awesome. Got to pair him up with Select Juggernaut as well. Any of those big bruisers. Again, just doff of the cap, Loose Collector Man. You killed this. One thing I would want to change though, he's got these open hands, but they're sort of open but only slightly like giving it this. So basically he can't pick anyone up. Yeah, there's not enough grip space here to be able to pick up an opponent. That's something I would really like. That's something you can do with the Marvel Legends Retro Rhino, which I love. The hands are just pincery enough that you can slot a figure in there. This one, you wouldn't be able to really have him hold on to anything. So that's a bit of a shame. It's not a terrible thing, but yeah, it would have been nice. But yeah, let me pick up the hat. Nope, the hat's gone. I found it. I'm not editing this. So yeah, the hat, again, great posing option. So in order to fit the hat on there, you've got the bald version as well. But also, like, just having him bald looks sinister. You know, I think that actually looks pretty good by itself. Got the scar going down his face there. I kind of like the pupilless eyes, just plain eyes. I think that if he had gone for like trying to do like human looking eyes, I don't know if it would have worked too well. Going for this just looks monstrous. And you got the nice different colors of gum and tongue, and that makes a nice kind of differentiation there. So it really brings the head to life. That's kind of cool there. And then we'll pop this off and we'll have a look at the other head as well, because the other head has got a lot more hair going on there. So we'll pop him on. And also I got to say that it's relatively easy. Hopefully I can prove that. There we go. Yeah. It's relatively easy to swap things around as well. So we've got the hairier Hyde there. But I mean, really, come on. You got the Victorian Mr. Hyde. You want to have the top hat as well. One accessory that would have been really nice would be a cane. If they'd thrown in a cane as well, that would have been great. Nonetheless, though, this head also similar. I don't like it as much. He's got the clenched teeth as opposed to the open mouth. I prefer the more animated, raw kind of look to him. And also, his hair's it's a very flat top. I assume you can't put the hat on there? Nah, it doesn't balance. It looks silly. So yeah, I won't really be using this head. I'll just be sticking with the bald head with the top hat. That works great. And then, of course, you're never fully dressed without a smile and a ripped up shirt. And they've gone the Marvel Legends 80th 2-pack Hulk version with this. Just a nice rubber piece or a plastic piece. It feels more plastic than rubber. The Hulk shirt feels very soft and malleable, whereas this is a lot more solid. So yeah, it's a solid... what wasn't solid was the head. Didn't have that... Didn't have that put on properly. Let me just scooch that down there. Here we go. Ich-ni-san. There we go. Oh, that was satisfying. Yeah, having this on here, on his back, really does break up the figure. It breaks up the colors. It makes him feel more kind of real and detailed. It's a great, great addition. And it's wonderful that you can take it on and off. Because also, the customizing potential for this buck, absolutely fantastic. Anyone who's got a few paints and a bit of skill and time, you could turn this into a Hulk. You could do all kinds of things with this. And that's something that I think a lot of people are really going to appreciate. But me personally, I wouldn't want to ruin it by putting any touches on it, because I think he looks fantastic as is, especially the actual paint job on here, the wash, and the shading on these muscles just absolutely brings it to life. It's lovely, and this makes me want to check out more Loose Collector figures, because he really does go so hard with the veins and the shading in there. Really puts it all together to make a fantastic package. So you know what? Let's do some size comparisons. So first of all, we're going to see how he stacks up to a Marvel legend. We've got the new Spider-Man Beyond, that's the Renew Your Vows body, and yeah, tiny. But then you got the Fu-Ray Planet Blade Master Weng, who is very big and chunky. They scale much better towards each other. Then we're going to do the Orc. I forget the name of the manufacturer, but the Orc is as tall as he is wide. He's like a cube of a figure. And then 3DLX Optimus Prime. So all these different lines. Mr. Hyde is still just dominating them. However, we finally get someone taller. It's the Equidron, if that's how you pronounce it, from Four Horsemen. And also, finally, the Mafex Thor, which, honestly, I think putting these two together, well, just being a bit mean, really, aren't I? And as a final grade, I've got to give this Mr. Hyde from Loose Collector an absolutely stonking solid 8 out of 10. It's hard to find ways that you can improve this figure. He does exactly what he says on the tin. You want a big, gigantic, brutish, hulking Mr. Hyde? Well, there you go. And I hear you saying in the comments, well, Dave, if he's so good, then why is he only getting an 8? Well, I tell you what, I'm not a huge fan of the hairy head sculpt. I feel that could be tweaked a little bit, make it a bit more appealing to my own eye. And also, if you want to like talk about, well, how could you zhuzh this up? Well, you could have given him some soft goods. You could have given him some more accessories. You could have given him hands that would actually grasp hold of things. Also, I just thought, I would kind of like it if the shirt and the trousers were slightly different colors. And that's just an aesthetic choice. Other people might go, ugh, no, why don't they match? Me personally, I would like it to just mix up the colours of the figure a little bit. Otherwise, it feels a little bit plain Jane to me. But don't let me, make you think that I'm ragging on the character, because, oh my goodness, he just got a score of 8 out of 10. This guy is going to have pride of place in the collection for the longest time. I love this terrifying monster. And folks, that does it for my review of Mr. Hyde. Do you have this figure from Loose Collector? What do you make of it? What would you like to see Loose Collector tackle next? Because if this is an example of the monstrous creations he can make, he seems to have two different niches. He's got the kind of sexy lady kind of side of things, and then he's got the terrifying roidy Magoos. Maybe a sexy roidy Magoo. I don't know. There's something for everyone. I'd be tempted to buy it. But guys, yeah, thank you so much for watching my review, and thank you so much, David, for sending me this figure, this ridiculous, insanely generous care package he sent. This is amazing. So many more reviews to do just based off of that. And also, this is part of my September Patreon pledge drive. So every single day in September, Lord, help me. I'm going to do a brand new review, and that's going to be just part of a little reminder, a little nudge of like, hey, if you enjoy the channel, why not go over to the Patreon, sign up, become one of the Model Behaviour best friends? But that's down to you. You can always watch these for free here, because dang it, I'm not even going to play like business hardball. I'll just tell you straight, I'd do this for free anyway, because I just love doing it. I love talking about things that I love, and this guy, yeah, I really kind of love him. So gang, thank you very much for watching, and until next time, keep displaying model behavior.
Cup of coffee. Cup of coffee. Big